Hello, everybody. This is Caroline Landis at Emsi Burning Glass, and I have with me Chantel Wilson. So thank you so much for bearing with our short delay. Typically, as you guys probably are aware, Elise Lease runs these webinars, but she is on a well-deserved vacation after being locked up at home for a year and a half. So we are doing our best without her. We had some technical difficulties, but here we are, and we're excited to talk to you guys about Career Coach today. So we're going to give it just a few minutes for people to continue to trickle in, although it looks like we've got mostly everybody in already. So I'm just going to kind of lay out the game plan for today. So you will be sent the recording of this webinar after today's presentation. So if you ever want to go back and rewatch that or share it with colleagues who weren't able to make it today, then you'll be able to share that link with them. So Chantel is going to walk us through Career Coach, kind of talk about what it can do, typical ways that you could talk to students about using it, and there will be time for Q&A at the end. So feel free, there should be a little chat box available to you. Feel free to enter any questions that you have throughout her presentation in that chat box. And at the end of our time, I'm going to go through and kind of ask some of your questions to Chantel for her to answer. So we'll try to address as many of those as we can. And if there's too many questions for us to get through today, then we'll have your account manager contact you and work with you on any remaining questions one-on-one. All right, so with that said, I'm going to go ahead and hand it over to Chantel to show us Career Coach. So Chantel, take it away.
Hey, thanks, Caroline. Like Caroline said, my name is Chantel Wilson, and I am an account manager with Higher Ed, and I work with community colleges in the Northeast. And I'm really excited to walk you all through Career Coach today, so thank you so much for spending your time with us. The Career Coach is a custom-built website for your school, if you have it, and its purpose is to assist colleges in helping students to discover and pursue a successful career. So when students have a good career vision, they're more likely to complete their programs of study and to succeed in their careers. And some students have career vision as they enter school, but a lot of them don't, or sometimes that changes while they're in school. So Career Coach can help give them that vision, and it's going to do that through an interest assessment and also through our comprehensive labor market data. So let's go ahead and jump in. As Caroline said, this is being recorded, and if you have questions, drop that into the chat box and we can address those at the end. So during our time today, here's a little roadmap. I'm going to talk about profiles. We're going to browse. We're going to talk about the career assessment, browsing careers, browsing programs. We're going to talk about the veteran option, building your resume, and work opportunities. And before I jump into the profiles, I just want to bring you down here. Here's a Career Coach tutorial that we have. It's a brief, much more brief than I will be in my presentation today, a brief run through of Career Coach. That's a great helpful reminder to either yourself or to a student who's about to jump in and explore Career Coach. And we also have social media tabs linked down here. Okay, so before we jump into profiles, you do not have to have a profile in order to use Career Coach, which is awesome. You can explore without having to write down any information or anything like that. However, having a profile is extremely helpful for the student. As they're exploring Career Coach, as they take their assessment, as they browse those careers, as they browse those programs and they like careers and programs, all of that will save to their profile. So if they come in one day, do a bunch of work, save it all to their profile, they can come back at any time and they can just pick up where they left off instead of having to start all over again. As a faculty or as staff who is working with the students, either as counselor, advisor, or recruiter, it's extremely helpful for students to have that profile so that you can see their assessment and so that you can see what careers and programs that they have liked. If you are an admin and you can see the back side of Career Coach, then you have access to all that information if the student has a profile. So not necessary, but extremely helpful. So if you don't have a profile, you can sign up I already have a profile created, so I'm just going to go ahead and log in. On your profile, it will save things that you've been doing on Career Coach. So because I've explored Career Coach before and done these things, it has saved all of my work. It has my information, it has my assessment results, it has careers that I have liked and programs that I have liked while exploring Career Coach. So this is why it's extremely helpful to have a profile. However, you can delete your profile at any time. So let's say a student doesn't want to have it past when they're not at the school anymore, they can come and delete it at any time. But the profile will also last for as long as the Career Coach site lasts. So could last potentially a lifetime. All right, back on the main homepage here, we are going to jump into taking the career assessment. But there are different ways to enter Career Coach based on where you are in your academic pursuits. It's great for the undecided student, so a student who has no idea what career path they'd like to follow and or what programs that they would like to be in. You can have a career decided student. They know their career path that they want to go on, but they're unsure of what programs will lead them to that path. You can also browse by program. So this would be for the students who they know what programs they want to take, or they know what programs they have taken, but they're not sure what career path that's going to set them on. So we'll explore all three of these, but first we're going to start with the assessment. The assessment is not a self-discovery test. It is just trying to get at what do you like to do and what don't you like to do, and that's going to help match students to careers and programs. If you're logged in and you've already taken the assessment, your previous assessment will pop up, but you can retake it at any time, which is what I will do now. This assessment can be taken at 6 questions, 30 questions, or 60 questions. Atlantic Cape has chosen not to turn on their 30 questions, which many schools choose to do the 6 and the 60. These are both great options for taking. It's not like the 6 question one is a cop-out or something. And mainly it's just going to depend on the student that you're working with and the setting that you're working in. Is this a counseling session where the student has come in and really wants to dig into what career path should I follow, what programs should I take? Then the 60 question one would be great. These ask one question at a time, very specific questions like, do you like to build kitchen cabinets with your hands? Or would you like to teach preschool students how to play baseball? Things like that. The 6 question one is going to ask 3 questions at a time, and those are going to be a little more high-end questions, more big picture questions. This 6 question one would be really great if you're just trying to get in and out. Let's say you took Career Coach to a high school job fair and you just want to get this in front of students and you would like them to explore, but you don't have a lot of time. This 6 question one is going to be a super great option. I've taken both the 6 and the 60, and my top 3 traits, although maybe not 1, 2, 3, are all still the top 3 traits. So it's not like there's a bad assessment. They're both great. It just depends on what you're looking for. Before you jump into the assessment, it's going to prompt you. Don't answer the questions based on education and experience. Don't answer based on how much money you would like to make. Just, do you like to do this? Do you not like to do this? And answer truthfully for best results. So, hands-on. Do you like to work hands-on? Objects, machines, tools, plants, animals? Observe, learn, analyze? Express yourself creatively? Sure. Inform, lighten, help teach? Yes, strongly agree. Influence? Of course. Work with facts? Not so much. And then when you're done with your assessment, you have your assessment traits here. These are based off of the John Holland research method, and they're going to be the RISEC traits. Like I said, not self-discovery, just what do you like to do and what don't you like to do. And based off of my answers, it is going to match me by percent to the different careers. Career Coach is extremely transparent. Of course, it's going to tell you what your top matches are, but it will also tell you all the way down to 1% what your bottom match is. So that's great. I should apparently stay away from manufacturing. But if you click into manufacturing, it will tell you more subcategories of careers. And within the subcategory of manufacturing, I'm a 42% match to specific careers in here. So also beware, this will lead you down many a rabbit trail. If you find a career, if the students have taken the assessment and they find something that interests them, they can click around until they find something that they really are interested in. And then those categories lead you to even more subcategories of careers. You can sort by percent match, alphabetical, salary. You can also include and exclude different education levels. So if the student is thinking, not really interested in a doctoral or a master's, but a bachelor's, sure. And then they can go into the careers that they would find most interesting. So that is the assessment and how it leads you to careers. And then from careers, it can match you to programs. But I'm going to head back to the main page now, and we're going to jump in by browsing careers. So if you know what career path you would like to follow, let's say that you know that you want to go into finance, you can search that here. You could also browse by all careers. So if you're not sure, you can browse, but let's go ahead and search for finance. And then they can look around and see, okay, more specifically, what kind of careers would interest me most? And here we still have the percent match. We have the median salary for the career and the top entry level of education. And they can browse until they find something that interests them. And if they do find something like, oh, financial analytics, very interesting, then they can click in and find even more information on this specific career. So on this overview page, we have the median salary, while also entry-level salary and where they might end up with lots of education and experience, the number of annual job openings, which will include vacancies due to growth and also turnover. It will also let us know what programs are available at this college, which is Atlantic Cape. I'm using their career coach site. And all of this information is coming at them from a regional level. I live in a small town in Idaho, and we're not too far away from Seattle. So having information at a regional level for me is extremely important. It doesn't really matter what someone might make money-wise or how many jobs are available in Seattle. That's not where I'm looking. I want to look specifically in my town or in my county. And so that's what we have here. You as faculty and staff, you can set where you would like your career coach to be mapped to, and then students can select between the regions that you've pre-selected. If this interests them, they're thinking, yes, let's find out more, then we would go to the About page. Here we have daily tasks that we are taking from ONET. This is great for students to read through to find out what they're going to be doing day in and day out. I'm sure all of us know of a student who went to school thinking that they wanted to pursue one very specific career. They graduated, they got a job, and then they realized, wait, this is what I have to do every single day? And then they're stuck. And that's not good for them. It's not good for your school. It's not good for your local economy. So these daily tasks are super great. Students can read here, yes, I do want to do this every day, or nope, no, don't like that. And then they can back button and find something else until they actually do find something that they like. Here we have the national attainment level. So before I said that the information is coming at you from a regional level, which is true for all of this information except for the education attainment level. Education attainment level is not reported down to the region, it's only at the nation. So as you look at this, it might vary from region to region, but nationally this will be true. This also is not a requirement. It's not saying that if you want to be a financial analyst, you have to have a bachelor's degree. It's just saying that most people in our nation who have followed the career path of financial analysts have received a bachelor's degree. So a recommendation, not necessarily a requirement. Here we also have skills, both hard skills and soft skills. We are pulling these skills from job posting sites. We are scraping about 40,000 active job posting sites and getting this information, saying employers who are posting for financial analysts are saying that they want these skills. This is excellent for students to know for multiple different reasons, including knowing maybe what electives they should pursue while at school, or for helping them to really narrow in on what to write on their resume or in interviews that they might have. Here we have the hard skills and the soft skills. These soft skills are going to be the skills that go across multiple different jobs. I have to have the job of communication, and you for your job, especially if you are working with students, have to have the job of communication, the skill of communication, as do financial analysts apparently need to be good communicators. So this is extremely helpful. I always get caught up on the skills. I like to linger there, but I will move on to wages. Here's an excellent visual of wages and being transparent about where students might start financially, but where they also might be able to end up financially, and then a nice median wage here. This part will be of most interest to students. We always want to know, yes, but how much money will I make? Which is not a bad question. Here we have the employment. So we have the monthly job postings. We have 49 companies that have posted for 140 jobs for a financial analyst. This is basically just the job posting trend. This will vary depending on what job you have chosen. I know if you're looking at for teachers, you're definitely going to have peaks and valleys. So just because you see peaks and valleys doesn't necessarily mean that's a terrible thing. Mostly it's just interesting. Here we have top companies that are posting for jobs for financial analysts. This is extremely helpful because this will give students an idea of, well, where might I find a job after I've graduated? Or where might I find an internship while I'm still in school and try to get my foot in the door and get some experience. This also, not necessarily for students, but for faculty and staff, would be a great place to come to see if you could kind of pull together a program advisory board. Here we also have some employment projection. Took a nice fall here in 2020, but projected to kind of even out as we go on. This is just great for students to see, will there be a job for me when I graduate? And although we always like to see this trending upwards, like, yes, there will be plenty of jobs. It's good to know the good and the bad. If this is just plummeting, students would want to know that, probably even more than if it was raising up. And then top posted job titles. So financial analyst maps back to a SOC code, a standardized occupational classification code, but employers don't necessarily post based on a SOC code or a specific career title. They know they have a job that needs to be filled, and this is the title of the job. So as students are pursuing they're a financial analyst, but as they're pursuing jobs, these might be other job titles that they would be that employers would be posting for. And then live job postings. So these are coming straight from Indeed.com. And this is just a great way for students to go off to find that job or to find that internship. Make sure if you have questions, go ahead and drop those in the chat box so we can get to those at the end. So we've taken the assessment, we've browsed careers. Now let's go ahead and browse programs. So let's say you have a student who's taken several programs and they've loved it, but now they're like, but what career path does this set me on? They can just come here. Well, they could browse the programs, but they could just type in, oh, I know that I have taken a communication class, or I've followed the communication program. They can type that in, click on communication, and now this program is going to map them back to related careers based on the fact that they've pursued a communication program. These are different careers that they could pursue. Here we have the hearts and the save button. If they find something that they're thinking, oh, that is of interest to me, they can click save, and that will save it back to their profile if they have a profile. And then if they find a career that they want to pursue, they can continue looking into that. And then it leads us back to our overview about wages, employment, and live job postings. All right, heading back to the main page. You can also explore Career Coach as a veteran. So you can search men and women in our country have served us in the military, and if they're done serving in the military and then trying to find a job, a civilian job, sometimes that can be hard to translate over. But this is a really great way to point them in the right direction. So my dad was in the Navy for many years, and everyone who has worked in the military has a certain code, and they know what their code is, so they can come and type in their code, and then it will map them to careers based on the skills and the job that they had when they were in the military. It'll map them to a potential career that would match with civilian life. Okay, let's go ahead and jump into the resume builder. This is the only part of Career Coach where you have to have a profile, just based on the nature of a resume where you have to write down personal and private information. So if you'd like to create a resume, it will prompt you to create a profile. This is probably, Career Coach in general is just very user-friendly, but this is amazing. When I was writing my resume, I wish that I had known about this, especially the first time that I wrote a resume. So here you can add your contact information, and if you want to change anything or edit anything, it's quite simple. You can add your work experience. I've already added in that I was a lifeguard and a barista, and I will add in another job experience just so you can see how quick and easy it is. So for many years, I was an elementary teacher. So we'll just use this as an example. So elementary teacher, who my employer was, where I worked, how long I worked there, until pretty recently, actually. And then this next part is where the real ease and the real gold of a resume is. Resumes can be extremely painful processes, but this part makes it pain-free. Here we have selected work tasks that are coming from that About tab that we saw on the About page when we were exploring the careers. You can just go ahead and add these to your resume as easy as click, click, click. And there's many, many options. This way, you don't have to painstakingly think and practice and try and fail at succinctly and professionally writing out what you did every day or things that you were good at while you were working there. And we have lots of options. You can also copy and paste and then edit in there if you did part of this task but not the whole task. You can also just add your own task. So let's say something is missing that you did do. You could type that in here and then just save and close, and then it is added to your resume. This is going to be a very simple, minimalistic resume. There's nothing super flashy about it or specific about it. I do know that we have worked with schools to make this resume flow and look a certain way to get past the automators and get those resumes in front of real eyes. So although it doesn't look super flashy, it's going to be professional and hopefully get past those machines. You can add education history. You can also add skills, and this is another really great part of this resume builder. So you can add skills by your work experience. So as being a lifeguard or a barista or elementary school teacher, could add skills. And there are so many. It's amazing and ridiculous at the same time. You can also search for a job. So let's say that I wanted to, I was pursuing accounting. I could add that in, type this in here, and then skills are going to pop up. And here we're going to see a lightning bolt surrounded by purple, and it's going to indicate skills that would match your desired job. So potential skills that you have now that you could add to your resume in order to make yourself sound more ready for a job on your resume. So I'll just go ahead and add those ones to my resume. Strategic planning, and then save and close. And then my skills have been updated. And you can also add in professional links. If you are an artist and you have a portfolio and you would like that to be on your resume, you can upload that right here. Caroline, who's here, I know that this is one of her favorite parts about Career Coach. I also love it, but she always talks about how much she loves the resume builder. And hopefully you all can see why. Okay, so the other thing I would like to talk to you about is the work opportunities. This is going to be similar to the live job postings, but the live job postings took us straight off to Indeed.com. The work opportunities instead is when you partner with local businesses for those local businesses to post directly onto Career Coach. This is super great because it's going to be a local employer, usually who are looking to hire local people, and you have a supply of local people at your college. These will, you can sort these. So if you were looking for an internship, you can search just by internship and click off, and it'll take you right off to that job posting. You can also just go ahead and submit a resume right here. I actually want to back up to the resume builder because I did forget to mention that you can download your resume into Word. You could also upload your resume. So if you uploaded your resume, it's going to be very easy to just submit that through your work opportunities. And if you download your resume into Word, you can actually go in and edit it from there. So let's say there is a typo or something. It's not like you'd have to start all over again. You can just fix it from there, and then you can upload and keep it here. Your resume will stay, if you upload it, your resume will stay here for as long as the Career Coach site is here. So potentially long past when you've graduated. Okay, so that is pretty much Career Coach from the student-facing side. And really quickly, I would like to zoom off into the admin side. The admin side is going to be for faculty and staff members who've been granted admin access. This is especially helpful for those of you who are working with students. So if you work with students, especially on Career Coach, and you do not have access to the admin side, contact your account manager and let them know. Account managers like hearing from you all. We like it when you ask us questions. We like it when we can help you. So reach out and have us help you with things. So here on the admin side, you can see from 7 days to 12 months and picking specific months, how many profiles were created. And then you can see all the specific information about those profiles. So from this, you can see just how helpful it would be to have an advisor be able to have access to this so that you could see what their current school is, when they signed up, their last session, their assessment, their resume, and then their favorites of their careers that they favorited and their programs that they favorited. You can also download this into a massive Excel file, which will show you all of this, but in more detail in that Excel file. Career Coach statistics, so that you can get a little information on the on what's happening on your Career Coach site. So you can see the total number of visits. You can see what the top activity is. This is great. What are they looking at? What careers are they looking at? What programs are they looking at? What did they favorite? What were their top searches? This is fun because sometimes you get to see some pretty hilarious spelling mistakes in here. Top careers and job posting clicks, and then top info requests by program. So basically this just gives you an idea of what are the interests or what is piquing interest of students as they're looking around and exploring on Career Coach. Top referrals is also really helpful to know where are they finding Career Coach. So for Atlantic Cape, they're finding Career Coach from their main page. And then also here we have clicks from program page. So what program page were they on when they clicked into find out more programs, or tell me about the tuition, or get me in contact with admissions? Okay, well, that is just a very brief overview. I don't want to spend too much time on admin, but I do know that your account manager would love to dig into the admin side with you. So please make sure you reach out to them if you have any questions. And then that is basically the overview for Career Coach.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chantel. So we do have some questions that we can get through a good number of these. So some great questions. The first one I'm gonna ask you, Chantel, is going back to the different assessment options. You know, we've got the 6, we've got the 30 question assessment, we've got the 60 question assessment. And right now on this school's website, Atlantic, they have the 6 and the 60 question turned on. So the question that came in to our chat box was, why might schools not want to include that 30 question assessment?
That is a great question, and most schools choose not to select the 30. So I don't know for sure. I have some guesses. I think because the 6 and the 60 are pretty much all you need. You wouldn't need to have a 30 question option. The 30 question option also asks one question at a time, but it doesn't, and it will ask the same questions that you'll find in the 60 question, but we've just cut them in half. So I don't know exactly why, but Caroline, what do you think?
Yeah, well, I would say that without sitting down with every school that doesn't have it turned on, it's hard to say, but I know that the 6 and the 60 question assessment are the default standard for Career Coach, but you've got all 3 options available to you. And I know a couple schools who choose to just do the 30 question assessment, or maybe have the 30 and the 60, or have all three. So that's really up to, if you're a school, you have career coach, it's up to you to decide what's going to be best for your students. So I think some schools like to give their students all of the options. Other schools don't want to have such an array of choices for students. They want to make it an easier choice for them to pick which one they're going to take. And so they just give them one or two options. So there's no right or wrong. It's simply, as an institution, what do you feel is the best option for your students, and which is going to make them, feel the most comfortable and the most likely to take an assessment. So yeah, no right or wrong answer there, but that's an interesting question to ask. So we've got some other questions. So going back to this skills information, when we're on those career pages, we have somebody asking how we're getting the data for those numbers with related to the hard and soft skills.
Oh, yes. Okay, so what we're doing is actually, I don't want to do this and talk at the same time. Let me just talk. What we're doing is Emsi Burning Glass has access to about 100,000 job posting sites and career boards. 40,000 of those are active at any given time, and those are the ones that we are scraping in order to give you this information. So that's how we're getting it.
Yep. And so if any of you in this room use any of the other products that that MZ Burning Glass provides that relate to job postings or skills work, it's powered by the same job posting data that those run on, where we're looking at what is the current job posting demand according to online job postings as they're appearing online all the time, and looking for the skills and competencies that employers are requesting in those. And then we're able to say, okay, this hard skill has shown up in 6 different job postings over the last year, or it's shown up in 60 or 100 or 200. And so that's where we're getting those numbers. Okay, let's see, what else do people need to know? We did have somebody ask about local employers posting directly to Career Coach, but then Chantel told us about the work opportunities, so I think we took care of that. Also,
one thing I
go
could
ahead.
say is that there's an employer portal, so when they sign up, they don't have to sign up as a student, they can sign up as an employer. Let's see here. Employer sign up, so they can sign up as an employer, and then they can post on Career Coach. But you as an admin would have the ability to either confirm or deny their job postings. So it's not that just anyone can post whenever they want for whatever job they want. You have the ability to control that. There's also an ability to whitelist. Is that what it's called, Caroline?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. To whitelist an employer, so if you know them and you're familiar with them and the jobs that they post and you think they're fine, they're always fine, then you can just whitelist them so that they don't have to have permission to post. They can just post automatically, but they have to have special permission to do that.
Yes, absolutely. And another thing that you may have mentioned, Chantel, but I'll just reiterate, with those work opportunities that local employers can, go in and post job advertisements, you have the option to allow them to post different kinds of positions. So not just full or part-time positions, but they can also post internships, they can post apprenticeships and work study options. And like Chantel said, the school has complete control over what employers are signing up and posting for what. Schools can also post postings on behalf of employers or on behalf of the school. And you can go in at any time and edit those. So if you want to extend how long those postings are live for, or you want to go in and change, actually this should be classified as an apprenticeship, not a part-time position. You can go in and change all of that. So that's really helpful, especially I know a lot of schools are looking more at that apprenticeship space. So to be able to partner with employers to find people for apprenticeships directly within Career Coach is a pretty cool feature. All right, so let's see, we've got a question about admin abilities. So how many admins is it possible to have for a Career Coach site?
You can have as many admins as you want. It's as easy as you just create your own profile, just as if you were a student, and then you let your account manager know, hey, I have a profile, I would like to be an admin, and then we can just go and turn that on. So as many or as few admins as you like.
And another question about the admins, are admin people able to see students' resumes as they're submitted to an employer?
Oh, that is a good question. I actually don't know the answer. Caroline, do you know that?
Yeah, well, so I think there's a couple parts of that question. So let me just see. Yeah, so a couple parts to that question. So first of all, as an admin, you could go in and view any student's resume. So I know that we often schools like to have people in advising or counseling service, career service counseling roles have access to the admin, because if they are working with students one-on-one, they're able to go in and see the student's resume maybe before or after they meet with that student. So they can go in, see what the student has put on their resume, then maybe email that student and say, hey, I think these couple things, we talked about this, go ahead and add those to your resume as well, or update these few things. There's also a feature available within Career Coach so that when students go to submit their resume to one of those partnered employer postings under the work opportunities, there is a feature that would allow an admin to review that student's resume before it goes to the employer. So I have a number of schools that like that ability, so that they're seeing what's going out to employers and have the ability to help students fine tune their resume before submitting it for an application. So that is a feature. It's not turned on by default, but that is something that's available. If you have Career Coach, it's available within your subscription as an option. So if that's something that is interesting to you, um, you know, you can contact your account manager, get in touch with them, and talk about, okay, can we try out that feature? I think it could be useful for our students. All right, so we have, this is not a question, this is a comment, but it's really interesting. So we have somebody that says they use the daily tasks list during career research to show students what the employer or the career expects them to do on a daily basis. So what this comment is referring to is on any one of those career pages where students can go in and they can look at the job projections and the wages and the list of skills. There's also that list of daily tasks that Chantel pointed out. And so, this person is commenting that, they really focus on that when they're working with students, to have them pay attention to those daily tasks and kind of put themselves in those shoes and think, could I see myself doing these things on a daily basis? Is this something that I would like to do? And I think this is a great comment, because yeah, those daily tasks really do help to ground that occupation from something that exists out there in the abstract to being able to think of yourself, as a student or as a potential employee, think of yourself doing those things and kind of try it on and figure out, would I like to do that? Would that fit with who I am and what kind of job I want to have? So that's a great comment. Alrighty, here. I'm gonna check. We're almost out of time. Let me see if we've got any other questions. We do have a lot of questions, so I'm trying to go through and see what are the broad themes that are showing up. So we have some questions coming in about, different features, questions about, are there any other features for what Career Coach can do for students or for faculty and staff? We're not going to be able to answer all of those things, but I will say that there are different features that can be included in Career Coach that we're not necessarily seeing here on Atlantic Cape Community College's page. So something that you might appreciate is, working with your account manager and asking him or her, hey, what are all of the options for Career Coach? Because we can basically send you a full list and say, okay, here's everything that if you have Career Coach, these are all of the options and available features that are included in your subscription package. We can try any of these on. You can use any of these features at no extra cost. So go ahead and reach out to your account manager if you're interested in seeing what are the other things that Career Coach can do that maybe we're not currently using, because there might be some features, some options that would really benefit the students at your institution. So we'd love to try those out with you.
Yeah, so like I said before, it is a custom built website. So I am showing you Atlantic Cape's and they've made specific decisions for their students in their region, and you might like to make different decisions. So definitely reach out to your account manager so that they can explain to you all the different options that you have. One thing that some colleges do have, like a lot that I've seen, is next to the work opportunities, they actually have a link right back to their homepage of their college. So that would be another example of something that Atlantic Cape has chosen not to do, but that you could choose to do.
Yep, absolutely. So Chantel, here's a question about the resume builder, specifically the template. So somebody's asking, is there only one template for building resumes? Are there multiples? And could they upload their own templates?
Okay, so there is one template. It is simple and it is basic and minimalistic. So if you are looking for a very specific, I'm a brain surgeon and want to have some sort of brain surgeon resume, this might not be the right one for you, but this is a great first resume or just out of college resume. You can upload your resume. You can also upload, gotta log back in. You can also upload cover letters and things like that. If you would like to, onto your career coach site, although we don't have, or onto your career coach profile, although we don't have those templates. So basically, this is the one template we have. You can, if you have other templates and have created a resume, you can upload those to career coach so that your profile can hold on to them. But we only have the one template.
All right, great. So we do have some other questions coming in, but I think we're at time now. So we're going to end it there. But just to remind you, everybody is going to get a recording of today's webinar. So if you registered, even if the folks who had to leave midway through, or if you came in midway through, all registrants will receive a recording of today's webinar. So don't worry about that. You'll be able to go back and watch it anytime. You'll also be able to share that recording with any of your colleagues who might also be interested. And just a couple notes here on Career Coach. So this is a custom-built website that Emsi Burning Glass offers via a subscription, very similar to some of the other Emsi products that your institution may already have. If you have our other products, you might not necessarily have Career Coach. This is sold separately from our analyst research software or other products and services that we offer. So if you're interested in knowing, does my institution have a Career Coach? Again, reach out to your account manager and they'll let you know if this is something that currently exists in your subscription package with Emsi. And if it does not and you're interested in learning more, they'll be able to get you information on all of that. So thank you everybody so much for coming today, for asking questions. Thank you for your attention. And thank you so much to Chantel for walking us through Career Coach. We hope it was helpful. We hope that this really opened your eyes to all the different ways that data can help students figure out not just what careers are out there, but how your institution can help them get on a career path that's interesting to them. So thank you everybody, and we will see you next month in our next training webinar.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.